Good evening. It's Friday, September 29th, 2003, and I'm host John Newquist for the Wall Street Weekly Wrap Up for the third quarter. We're doing it on Friday because I'm going to be driving on Saturday, and the market ended, so let's get into it. It was an ugly quarter. We'll talk about it. We sold SIRI. You know, if you see the little E's at the bottom of this, it's the earnings, and the dividends are paid in the D's. Split adjustments are under the S. Just some of the new things the software's added on there. First I thought it was like some Elliott Wave stuff. Liberty Media, who is going to go out and work with SIRI, is going to issue a new consolidated public company. I just hate that. I don't know what this is about. It was a lot of babble speak. So I like SIRI. I use it all the time, but we're going to say goodbye because I have no idea what Liberty Media is going to do. The plan was nonsensical. It really, we're going to maximize shareholder value. Like get a little bit more specific. Next era, 52-week low. Well, it's been there. It was a darling of all the energy companies because it was profitable. But I just look at it. Is it going to raise revenue? Yes. The earnings are going to go up another, 8 to 10% per year. 6% according to 2025. So I think it's pretty good. I mean, I like next year. I don't see it losing money. I don't see it being stagnant. A lot of utility companies, they don't grow. You're just getting at the dividend. AT&T, Verizon, all these tobacco companies, they're really not growing. But they get a good dividend, and some people want that as a bond, and I'm not a fan of it. Nextera does grow. We're going to stay with it unless something changes that affects the revenue growth. Stats of the week, look at the 2-year, 5%. Wow. Crude still above 90. Everybody's betting. A lot of people betting it's going to go over 100. And natural gas getting close to $3 again. It'll go down. There's plenty of natural gas. We are pumping out so much natural gas. It's amazing. And then gold below 1900 now, and silver is below 25, and then copper is below 4. So the fear of this recession slowdown is there. And I just drew the crude oil chart, and it's in an uptrend, of course. And of course, the oil stocks are just reflecting this, ExxonMobil and everybody else. If we get to the next level, that's when we break 100. So my idea is we break 97, we break 100. We got to get past this resistance of 95. So we'll see. I think it'll happen. Be a long, cold winter. In our third quarter, the Nasdaq's up 26%, S&P 11%. We were up higher, of course. Let's take a look at what do we lose. We lost in the third quarter 4% on the Nasdaq, so it was up at 30%. Remember, our benchmark is the S&P, so we're down 3%. S&P is down about 5.5% since the high. We're looking for the 10% correction as we predicted for September, October, and we're going to get it. If we look at the heat map for the quarter, I always like that because look at Google. It's strong. Exxon's strong. A lot of red, but that's to be expected. It ran up for 6 months on the techs and a lot of these other companies. Now we're going in there. Right now, a lot of people are kind of skittish to stay in the stocks. Everybody's talking about it's a stock picker market, which has always ever been a stock picker's market. But yeah, you can go energy, you can make well, but are you going to buy it at maybe a peak? Who knows? ExxonMobil all-time high, all-time high. This company's been around forever, since I remember it. Under Mobil, it is doing well, and of course it retreated a little bit today after it broke up through the high, which is consolidation. Trend line is up. They're going to make a fortune. I mean, everybody got to be here to earnings. When you get this dividend, it's huge. They always pay. They've done special dividends. I think it's going to be a good company for to hold on the energy. That and Conoco. And Nike jumped up a little bit. Look at that gap up there. Holy smokes. This thing jumped up. It did better than they thought. That's always a good news. This market, look at this thing. Down, down, down. It's the opposite of tech, which was up, up, up. 0.8, 18 cents beat. Gross margins look good. Inventories are down. That helps. Gives us some hope that this stuff might be done with the retail side. Mortgages, oh my God. I just sit there, you're going to get 30-year 7.8% mortgage. when a year ago it was like 2.5. You know, I mean, this is crazy. These people who are going to get these mortgages are going to pay a fortune in interest, and you know, it's tough to get people to move out of the house. So they're trying to build houses, but who's got a $500,000, $1 million for them? Now I was up by Yorkville, Illinois, which is a lot of $300,000 one bedrooms. You know, so think about that, $300,000 for a bedroom. Under Armour rallied in sympathy with Nike. It has a little bitty pop over here. You can see it popped. It's been in a downtrend just like Nike. So, but I like it. I mean, I like the clothing. I think it does well. I think, you know, it's much more better value than Nike. But, you know, you have to watch this downtrend. And but you know, like I said, I think they're going to do well. And Rivian, I just watch Rivian. And you know, here's the big number on the Rivian. 200-day moving average. This thing's been down, 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 and it's still been a negative slope, but it's starting to flatten. And, you know, if you would have bought it at 18, which would have been over here, that's pretty psychic of you to do it, because it was an ugly chart. You know, it's going down, down, down. Then it started gapping up, and then based up high, come back, come down solid, come back down again. But, you know, here's the crossovers. 50 and 30, 20-day crossovers. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. And if Rivian can make a profit, we want to see it. Can they make a profit? Then we are going to be in Rivian, because we got to have an EV. We can't be like the big three who just lose money every time they sell one. We've got to be like Tesla, where you're going to make some money, and we'll see. Rivian's my home state, and I'd hope to see it, you know, make a profit. And one I'm going to be watching quite a bit. And again, we sold SIRI. We held on to everything else. You know, I like this Fear and Greed Index. I don't know how he does it, but we're in extreme fear right now. I mean, that's a sign that it's going to be interesting for the fourth quarter. I think it's going to be better than it was. The debt, this has always been my pet peeve. You know, okay, 2010, we have more debt than we have gross domestic product, and that's never good, because, you know, that's when your countries become like a third worlder if you don't really manage this thing right. You know, we pay more for the national debt than we do for the defense, which I never thought was going to be possible. So, and you know, I don't want to beat up the greatest generation, but boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of debt they stuck us with, a lot of debt, and we're going to have to sit there and get out of it. And everything's up for grabs when crap goes down. Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. When we got the money, they're not going to touch it. But it's when we get out. If they can't sell the money and the bonds, then they're going to have to start cutting, and this is where pain is going to be in there. You know, anybody, doesn't matter what you have, nothing could be safe. You know, multiple streams of income, about the only thing you can do. But let's not end that way. Quarter, it was down. Fourth quarter, we're up, I think. And, you know, because a recession will go through till October, or our market collapse, or 10% correction. And then we should see a positive November, December. We will end the year positive, you know, unless all hell breaks loose. But I don't think that's going to happen. But let's take it easy, stay warm. I'll see you next week.